This must be the crime scene. Oh, yeah.
The officers will first secure the crime scene to keep the evidence from being contaminated or destroyed. The CSI will then come and search for evidence. Common approach path is the path all personnel will take is established when securing the scene. The CSI would be covered head to toe in protective equipment to prevent contamination of the crime scene. Contamination would make evidence collected from the crime scene unreliable and not viable in court.
Since our crime scene is outside in an open area, we will use the spiral method. This is where the CSI would start from the outside of the crime scene and walk in a circle, making the circle smaller around the center of the scene. The center is typically the body or a significant piece or concentration of evidence. Evidence markers are placed on each piece of evidence for photographs and crime scene sketches. The medical examiner determines the cause of death and IDs the body. They would also notify any family of the victim or other people close to the victim, like partners.
Evidence is photographed multiple times in 4 different ranges or ways. Overall shots would be taken far from the piece of evidence to show the entire scene and the evidence relation to the rest of the crime scene. Mid-range shots are taken to show more detail in the surrounding area of the evidence. Close-up shots are taken with and without the evidence marker and ruler. Close-ups are taken with the marker and ruler to show size and the evidence number. Close-ups taken without the marker and ruler are taken to show that the marker and ruler are not obscuring anything that could be found on the surrounding area of the evidence.
You collect hair using tweezers and then fold it into a paper brindle before placing it in an envelope. Seal it with tape and initial and date it so the text crosses the tape and the bag, box, or envelope. Make sure the case number, evidence number, location, and description is also on the bag. Hair is collected this way to ensure it does not get damaged or lost in the process of collection.
Chain of custody is important in case something were to happen to the evidence or it was tampered with. It would be known who had it at what times. It also ensures that the evidence was only in the hands of authorized persons.
Blood is collected using a piece of sterile cotton. Examples of this would be gauze and cotton swabs. It should then be put in a paper bag and allowed to air dry at room temperature, then frozen and immediately sent to the lab. Since our bodily fluid comes from a knife, you would seal the weapon in a rigid cardboard box, and it would be sealed and labeled the same way as the plastic bags. The suspenders would be put in a plastic bag and sealed and labeled the same way.
Crime scene sketches must first have the case number, date, time, location, indication of north, and the sketch artist. They should also be a key that has some evidence number found on the evidence markers with a description of each piece of evidence. Evidence in the sketch should not be drawn, only numbered. However, approximate location and position of the body is drawn into the sketch. Measure from the center of the head to the nearest wall/edge of the crime scene. Same goes for normal evidence.